New details about the rescue of an 8-year-old girl who was abducted in broad daylight right in front of her mother. The suspect is behind bars this morning. The girl is home safe thanks to some good Samaritans who helped find her. Mike is going to speak to one of them in a moment. First, let's go to ABC's Marcus Moore, who's on the scene in Fort Worth, Texas. Good morning, Mark.
Well, George, good morning. People here are absolutely relieved that this little girl is home safe. And from the moment they heard about the violent kidnapping in this quiet neighborhood, everyday citizens jumped into action, and it paid off. You are watching every parent's worst nightmare play out in real time.
Help me, please! My daughter just got kidnapped!
8-year-old Salem Sabatka taken from her mother's arms, kidnapped in broad daylight by a stranger driving through a Fort Worth neighborhood. Police say Salem and her mother were out for a walk at 6:30 Saturday evening when this man, 51-year-old Michael Webb, pulled up beside them and grabbed Salem. They say her mom jumped into that car, fighting to get her back, but Webb shoves her out of the way and speeds off. One neighbor's surveillance camera captures the whole thing.
Help me, please!
We know that Miss Sweet valiantly fought with the male that abducted her child. So much so that she was able to grab a piece of jewelry off of that male and was basically thrown from a vehicle that drove off with her daughter inside.
Police responding, issuing an Amber Alert and spreading the word on social media, desperately searching for any sign of that gray four-door sedan or the young girl. 8 agonizing hours later, a break in the case. 2 local church members spotting that vehicle in the parking lot of this motel about 10 miles from where Salem was taken. Police bursting into a room, finding Salem safe inside.
We got her. He's in custody.
Jeff King, one of the Good Samaritans, receiving an applause from the residents who gathered for a news conference Sunday night. When asked if he feels like a hero,
I feel like God allowed me to be a tool, and that's it.
You were definitely put in the right place at the right time with Jay, and just thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
and Salem's family releasing a statement overnight thanking the police department for its help. Meantime, the suspect is in jail this morning facing a charge of aggravated kidnapping. He's being held on a bond of $100,000. George?
Okay, Marcus, thanks very much, Michael.
And joining us now, George, are Fort Worth Police Chief Joe Fitzgerald, Police Department spokesman Buddy Calzada, and Jeff King, who's one of the two heroes who located the suspect's car. Gentlemen, thank you all for joining us this morning. And Officer Calzada, I want to start with you. Can you tell us more on how this young lady's doing this morning?
What I can tell you is her condition is good. There's a lot to this investigation, but I'll tell you what, being able to see that little girl crack a smile after all this is absolutely phenomenal.
And Chief Fitzgerald, take us back to the frantic 911 call we just heard in that piece from the girl's mother. She was actually fought the abductor, and she was able to give you a description.
Well, as I put it, Michael, she valiantly fought like a mother protecting her child is expected to do. She showed the courage and fortitude to just fight off Webb as best she could, you know, being thrown by the car, being able to give us a good description, and being able to capture some forensic evidence, being a part of the guy's chain that he was wearing. She did everything a mother was expected to do in that situation. She's a hero as well.
Absolutely. And Jeff, most people, they hear about something like this, they underestimate their ability to help. But what made you jump into action to help in this case?
Well, like I've said it before, but it was two things actually. And the first thing, of course, is that we're supposed to work as a community. We're supposed to love our neighbors, and God makes miracles happen all the time. And so that's the first thing. Second thing is I've known Riz, the father, for a lot of years. I haven't seen him in about 16 years, but a friend of ours texted me and just said, "What's up?" And I said, "What are we doing?" And I called a couple other friends who were already out looking, and we got out here and tried to make a difference.
And whose idea was it to check the hotels, and how did you find the car?
Yeah, so I don't know the gentleman at all. He was a Fort Worth detective, I believe, and I just went to the crime scene after I had seen Riz, and then he said check parks, apartments, and hotels, and so I called my friend who was already looking. I don't know, like I said yesterday, I don't know if he wants to be named or not, so I'm not going to. But he was going to check hotels on his way home, and then I went ahead and started looking at parks, and then we're told this one motel, and we went there, and then on the way back from that motel, this one was right next to us on the access road, and so we just pulled in, and yeah.
And
That's
Jeff,
how it happened. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. And Jeff, we heard this amazing audio that said, "We got her, we got her, we got her." So for you, how was it for you when they finally found her?
Yeah, so as a father myself, like the only thing I could, so I heard that same announcement, and I heard the police because we were still there when everything was going on, and I heard them shouting and getting excited, and then I asked this one officer for confirmation, and she said yes. And I said, "Can I call her dad?" You know, and I did immediately, and yeah, that was awesome.
And Chief Fitzgerald, you know, time is of the essence in cases like this, but this is a great example of the power of the community coming together. That must make you proud of the community that you live in.
My God, that's almost an understatement. It's the relationships we have built with community members like Jeff, this whole Ryan Place community, and really in general, the city of Fort Worth. Relational policing, just community policing, the things we do in the neighborhoods to build those relationships and strengthen them is the reason why we were able to mobilize so many citizens. Social media worked positively for us. The emotion that Officer Calzada showed during his interviews mobilized folks, and just having people like Jeff out there that just cared enough to search until the wee hours of the morning until we actually found her made all the difference in the world. So we thank everyone involved.
And we want to thank you three for joining us, and we're so happy that this ended in a positive way. Thank you, gentlemen, so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a great story.
What a great story and a great ending.
Doing their job.
Yep.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.